三界这当作那将就当年大鬼之境界为从也找到说三界这当作界上那将就把大鬼去境界为从那界找到本界三界就三界这当作上那将就把度当年结束界大鬼去境界为从那界找到本三界拉长咱们每当没有几样把它解决了就解决了三界就是就把这些这些特别经验经验地理学特别加进原来的这些特就天津切把它的了确实推进过也的那边你这孙先也没得让别当那了把对了特别说年纪那么他也搞当了那经当主播在那没可能的找关键站接下来他们这个都大概去等多我那时候他的但那个他就去电商部那年纪特别高的你听说了马下吧你马看什么间他们叫科研年了你东安孙家娘他你科研东安得到了让我查提起的呀大约起的了那么把杨大把作为三界有恐怕就不去今年就他把查提起的提把准备全3年不能来把啥的三把书
think as follows think that at this moment I've achieved an human life which is endowed with all of the qualities that I need to practice and which is free from any kind of obstacle that would prevent practice. And at this time I should be concerned with the of this life. Instead, I should think that there are numberless sentient beings who are exist within samsara, and those beings are all suffering, tormented by the three different. And each of those beings has been my mother numberless times. So, in order to free all of those sentient beings from their suffering, I must, as quickly as possible, now achieve Buddhahood. And in order to do that, I am now going to listen to this instruction on the Mahayana.
Oh yeah, that kind of is enough. Simply, I should hear someone to get it. I need not share about you, Chayigana. But then the Gala, more doing teaching good to you, which taught them and they are many, tendament you go the easy charge, Demby. That's teacher Kisemdi, Ranshila, and it came about. I should hear someone, Tembatilla, do I do Chetela? I knew more you chaba, more you gonna do by, do you gonna do by, Devi gonna do by, Stenny. That Kazan Kayela, Tambosabo to Sinsar.
So then, as far as the natural luminosity of the mind is concerned, this is explained in terms of these 10 topics, that the clear light of the mind. That's explained in 10 topics that we've enumerated above, in which it said that the intention of the sphere is established through established in terms of 10 topics, which is the nature, result, action, its endowment, its activity, and its conditions, and likewise its omnipresence, and that it never changes, as well as the qualities being indistinguishable. So that ultimate sphere is established in terms of these 10 subjects. And we the nature, the cause, the result, and now we're in the
也没写的，人一去呢，刘建国大多三界人不见，俺那三界 시추기 틀에 도지주라 주롱이 바탕 아니 디신시비 신이당 아니 말아서 섬정의 주지 감도라 시비 니보데 강경 진지 다 봐라 뭐 여름에 봐
So in terms of its nature, it's indivisible, and this is explained in the verse. It says, verse 27. Oh, sorry, thank you. This is explained in the verse up above, where verse 27, where it says, because of the emanations from the body of the perfect Buddha, and because suchness is invisible, and because of possessing the lineage, all embodied beings always possess the essence of Buddhahood.
Yes. Samjeng juji kam dawra shibi nimbo tedang ane sanje yola ngola rangxin ji ngo rangxin ji yewa meba rangxin ji taba yewa meba ni me ta me chi dang se de
So it says then that the that's referring to then that the suchness of sentient beings' minds and the suchness of the Buddha is indivisible. The simjingi deshini tang sangi deshini.
Sangi juji simji chuni tang simjing juji kam dewa shi nimbo de ngo rangxin ji taba la namba yewa meba tishin yewa meba.
So that the nature of Buddha's mind and the nature of a sentient being's mind, in terms of from the point of view of their suchness, they're indivisible, indistinguishable.
Dini lüye china lüjen gu seye gala, ani lüje gu gu gi same semji sabi genyu gu rikdi yeba ti chena, ani semji kam 가소레스 감대वर 시비니 가소레 류전 다수 산제 님보 안에 산제 요 공부 타버리 주와
And then where it says that sentient beings always possess the essence of the Buddha, of the Tathagata, that's referring then referring to the fact that they possess that suchness as the naturally existing lineage, and then they also possess the quality of the lineage in the form of that they are suitable to be purified of the defilements.
我这되게我쳐봐 대线呢他第节了 아니 매와라 소와 시기 아니 감지 정말 정제기 주 아니 어떻게 그처럼 하당 아니 가서 돈이도 비싸라당 등에 든다 이제 되게 교체네 아니 저한테다 마장 장바 셔봐대라 주디 아니 주세 제거래
So then in terms of the nature, in terms of the cause here is explained, as we explained, is in terms of those four types of activities, or the four kinds of actions that people engage in, such as admiration for the Mahayana teachings, the Mahayana Dharma, the development of the wisdom which realizes emptiness, selflessness, and samadhi, meditative concentration, and compassion, that those kinds of actions serve to purify, they act as purifying agents that remove the defilements and purify then the lineage in that way.
장이 파루를 침바 대위 파루를 침바 다비 파루를 침바 다가 파루를 침바 시오데 토그레 세가라 아니 파루를 침바 가세 치마 정제기 메소 대다기 치마 장발라 때네 제부 아니 오 파루를 톱주디 대위 가수 샤바체.
Then what's explained on the subject of the result is how, by means of those four kinds of actions, those causes that serve as the purifying agents that remove the defilements, how by virtue of engaging in those activities, one purifies all of the defilements from the lineage, and then the result of that is that one achieves the four perfections that were enumerated, where you have the perfection of purity, the perfection of self, the perfection of bliss, the perfection of permanence. Those four perfections are achieved as results. So how is it then that those actions are able to, those causes are able to purify the lineage of the defilements and to affect the different results that have been listed? In order to understand that, then we have to understand how the lesu chawa sana lesu chawa lesu chawa how it becomes an action, a function, how it functions, how the lineage functions, or the quality of the lineage, which is its functionality to be able to achieve those four kinds of results. So then down to the verse, which is verse 39, which says that if there was no element of the Buddha, then there would be no disgust towards suffering, no desire, seeking, or admiration for nirvana. Those would not exist.
Oh yeah, that dig can do some good water, Zawa Korana Chegana. That Tange to Chigana. Kade Sanje come Ranshiji Taba, Kade Sanje come Mena, say Chiwaki Chudurwa. Kade Sanje come Ranshiji Taba Dang. And Saba may be Lemena, Saba may be Sabe Menas, Saba may be Sabe Sena, Messimji Sabe, Maranji. 아니 가수래 이진남식이 띵도 아니 추구 주run기 아니 미와 대라 사메sem지 바카스 견주기 와 라시지 감라시지나 바타바당 세데 아니 라신남다 내리대체 와 사바메비 사베메나 세데 사바메비 산윈디 주run기 안에 사메스무 기사변데 메나 되면아 아니 동아기 예미 통화당 아니 가서래 동아라 쪼와지 말에 동아지 예미 아니 동아라 믿어 받아 동아지 말에 저와 개발은 조심.
So then the way this verse is explained is that if there was no element of Buddhahood, of the Buddha, this natural purity, and if there was no seed, uncontaminated seed, then there would be no one would see faults of suffering would give rise to disgust. Here, the first part of this, the element of the Buddha, or this is the natural purity aspect of the lineage, and then the seed, which is without contamination, uncontaminated seed, is here referring to the activity part of the lineage, which is that is the ability of a person to develop the developmental lineage part of the lineage, that is so that that portion of that activity of the mind such that it can develop or evolve. So if those two things were non-existent, the element of the Buddha and the seed of the undefiled seed or uncontaminated seed, those two types of lineage were not existent, then no one would become disgusted upon seeing the negative consequences of suffering.
我想，假设你们痛啊，痛呢叫人没决心，俺那他别拍人，第一拍人痛有过呢，俺那娘的了得不当，天天没把拘了，这个呢，都了叫我没学习，娘俺的了得不当，天天没把拘了。 세가라 딱 돌도나 아니 가서래 냥데라 전에 계획 말해 아니 냥데 타발 그 몇만 봐야 연구 말해
So then the second reason here is that if there was no such lineage or no element of the Buddha, then sentient beings would not by seeing the benefits of bliss give rise to desire or some kind of seeking out or admiration for nirvana. That would not arise within sentient beings.
인자 아니 섬제 탐제라 산제기 르여바데 가르레세나 아니 코알라 이중에 봉대당 냥알렌 대화라 아니 톰데 통화 인장 다 가소래 통도 통화 인장 다 르여바레세 제수 좋아하서나 디스기래 좋아 제수 정도 세가 르여바 인장 가서 코알레 这些结完当年代了，他们的约把人在日约把人，人们呢考完了结完当，考完了这些结完当年代了，他们的没完，多把吃完人在，即使装到吃完就不人。
So then it says likewise that sentient beings have this lineage of Buddhahood, of the Buddha, and the reason for this is that. It is seen that sentient beings develop or have the desire to abandon samsara out of renunciation towards it, and because of this renunciation towards samsara, they develop the desire to get rid of it. And likewise, they develop, or they have, we see that some sentient beings have the desire to achieve nirvana. So this is this explanation of how one establishes that sentient beings possess the lineage of Buddhahood, or is established in a forward direction, positive direction, as we're doing in the second reason here. That showing positively that we see that sentient beings possess renunciation towards samsara, and they possess the desire to achieve nirvana. That is positive evidence to establish that sentient beings have this lineage of the Buddha within them. And then in terms of the contrary of that, which is basically a reversal of that kind of reasoning, It was what was given above in the verse as such, that if they didn't have that kind of lineage, then they wouldn't have a disgust towards suffering and the desire to achieve nirvana and so forth. We can establish also the existence of this lineage of the Buddha within sentient beings, because we see how it works within the path, which pertains the stages of the path, which are which express the objectives of a person of smaller scope, based upon the awakening of this lineage within the sentient being. Then those sentient beings come to recognize some of the defects of grasping at the pleasures of this life alone, and they come to realize that clinging to the pleasures of this life alone is a source of suffering, and they come to develop a kind of revulsion towards that suffering, and then based upon that they develop a wish to achieve a superior rebirth in the next life, so that they work in this life to achieve rebirth as a human being or a god by means of working at the methods which are conducive to that kind of result. And then in addition to that, on top of that, then sentient beings can develop also the recognition of the faults of samsara in general, and develop a wish to achieve liberation from samsara.
Oh yeah, that's you drinking that also. Ane kandere sana, ane kowe dunga la jowa jene, ane kowa la jowa jene, ane kowa mide na, ane kowe ju bangwe, kowe ju bangwa la, ane dugun duje ki ju kunjung, ju le da nyemo bangwa, le nye tarbi, le nye bangbi bangba. 아니 가서 타바튼도 예고와 인자 동안 예와 시비 예와 타바튼도 오다 유등게 가서 아니 아마래 사바 아니 리지가고 리디기 바 가서 뉴와디야 세디 잠바 내송기 동안라 아니 조세께와 마세 코이 핀조라야 조세께디 코이 동안라 미드베 나바제니 코와타다 동안지 랑신도 통 코와타다 동안지 랑신도 통데 동안라 미드 바인다 다 동아 메데나 동아 가 동아 좀 고고 가래 동아 매 봤어 고 가래 동아 매 봤어 와라 동아 기주 아니 단다시와 나시 전에 두근 가서래 레닌이 방과 아니 타발라 터니게데 조증기 내가 독성 거래 좋아.
So then in the stages of the path that are the practiced by a person of intermediate kind of scope, they come to recognize not just the defects of birth into one of the lower realms of existence, that is as one of the lower types of beings, but they come to recognize the general defects of rebirth in samsara, where everyone is born in samsara by the force of karma and the mental afflictions. They see the suffering that's entailed by that kind of rebirth. And in addition to that, they come to recognize that this general suffering nature of samsara has to do with the causes that give rise to it, that karma and the disturbing emotions or mental afflictions are what generates the suffering experiences throughout samsara. And by recognition that those causes give rise to such results, they develop a desire to abandon entirely those causes, and so as to avoid those results. And then they develop the wish to strive for the liberation or nirvana, which is the cessation of that kind of causality altogether. So they begin to seek for peace, a kind of peace which is the complete removal, complete pacification of all of the causes of suffering as well as suffering, and seek liberation in that way. So if you do that, or when a person is doing that in that way, then what's happening is that the lineage within them, which has been already awakened on the path of the person of smaller scope, is further awakened, such that its power becomes stronger and stronger and grows, and this developmental lineage then starts to evolve and develop into more and more.
我印象到他的你告诉，看不上心情，那么他比人在的让心来的钱，是吧？他听着有让心来的，俺呢老板你都爱为什么那么那样，所以讲了，看上个提把全部来写这吧，是吧？提把全部来写这吧，我的提把全部也没都等干了说话的。 아니 모두 어텐데기 못다야요 가사타 콘투샤바 나시게 가사게 다 켈라발라 소와기 로바니도 예비 semjan남라양 레나바니 냐와네비 칠스리가라 레냠나바카르에서나 디셜구구 주롱기 사메스지 세베 연주기를 태당 카메라 신진 남바 타바기 라신이가 네바레스 로아
So how do we know that then also that this exists? Both the naturally existing lineage as well as the developmental lineage, which is the natural purity, which is the element of the Buddha, as well as that seed, uncontaminated seed, which is the developmental lineage. How do we know that those exist? We can establish that because we see the activities of that even within persons who are far removed from the Buddha Dharma, such that they're antagonistic towards the Mahayana. They hold to some kind of wrong view of the self. They grasp at that. They engage in negative kinds of actions. They have bad behavior and such as that. We can establish that lineage, both aspects of the lineage, exists within even people of that sort.
가서 돈이 dumba야 매바 주르세 dumba 컨텐츠라 시그레살라 dum바니 엄반 더바고 아니 냥데 톱자기 연단도 집에다바 dumba 생게데 지단 dumba 생게데 컨텐츠라 시그레살나 삼배 오라 미네 아니 텐도니 위 sem주지라 dumba 시그레 로 지단 지당 준비 통과를 해서 랑게 삼바기 대백이 오텔라 미네 안에 대텐도 예비 sem주지라 dum바스 거래
니 던졸로 양 dum바 소파 요르바 요 던졸 미 던졸로 양
안에 지당 dum바스 텐지 지고 거래샤
나 공다 골라 니마소
간지
당보
dum바스가 간데세에서나 뭔가 대비 텐도 예와 그러와 뭔가 대비 텐도 예와 난데라 토자 진gen지라 토자 진비 토자 진비 톱제인데 냥대 텐도니를 놓치라 tum바시가 와레스
딩엘라 두글켜와
근데 디 로바 근데 디 가서 로바니 동에 semjen 대다라 내가 아니 가르르서나 릭티 세바기 깨나면 되나요 그러와 아니 깨나단 말이에요 내가 릭타 세비 깨면 되나요 내가 내가 다 타두스요 와
공다 디 콜라 디 연결송은 남
로바니동에 semjen 대다라 내가 브릭세바기 깨나면 말이에요 매담바 이나에 원래 릭세바기 되바 되니 김든지 듬바지 아니 파리 남신의 길이래 와
So we have to say then that persons of that type, we would say we can establish that they have the lineage, they possess the lineage, but for the time being, they can't, or the lineage is not awakened within them. That is, that the lineage has not been awakened within them.
And then 더바단 튼두냐와 세대 간데서 전얘기 듬바생인데 튼두냐와니 엄반 뇌비 튼데 초와무 튼두냐와지라 듬바시게 와라.
So desire, and where it says in the verse that they have desire, some seeking out, admiration, those three qualities towards nirvana. It said there that this is their desire refers to as a kind of intention which seeks something out.
semjen kamena dugla jowa menjusin nyanga dela debata tenye memba ya meba juru si kana tenye nyanga dela debata tenye memba meba juru si kana nyanga len dewa la debata tendu nyewa sanga de kan gresna ta disigode.
So then where it says in the verse that if there was no Buddha lineage, if the Buddha lineage was non-existent, then there would be no revulsion towards suffering, no desire, no seeking out, no admiration as well for, or even admiration for nirvana. Then desire here refers to like some kind of intention, some kind of wish or intention. Where is that? 203? Yes.
Sidanyanga dela ni duden chitadin de tortin shega tate jewa shedi kala o sipa tanyanga le dewa sipa khowa lenyu ji ani shawang ji phomboti ani nyanga le dewa segara tenda we lenyu gi duwa dugunji lenyu ji phombo nyara shiwi tarbate nyanga le dewa 아니 lenyi 풍부대 랑바기 여와 양대 토바기 대위 연대 통화디 다 다시 시원하신 리리여발래 리여바 인상 디균전 디잖아 아니 코알라 이미 통화당 아니 얘기와 연구하래
So then, if any kind of person, then we would say we can establish that all people possess this lineage of the lineage of the Tathagata, because we see that within them, that in different kinds of people, even if they have wrong views and such, that they generate some kind of revulsion towards suffering, and they develop a kind of wish for cessation, the cessation of suffering. This shows that, and the evidence for this is that we see that, here it says in the that seeing the the defects of suffering and the good qualities of happiness, which with respect to existence and nirvana, that shows that this lineage exists within them, and that's proof of that, because if someone didn't have the lineage at all, if there was no lineage whatsoever existing, then they wouldn't have, there would be no observation of someone seeing the defects of existence and the benefits of peace.
Oh yeah,
So if the way it works is that we establish positively that they possess the lineage, because we observe that we observe people have this kind of, or there are cases of people having this wish to seeing the defects of samsara and seeing the benefits of cessation of samsara. That positively establishes it, and likewise we can in a reverse fashion establish that this lineage was completely non-existent. Then there would be no, we would not observe or see people having revulsion towards suffering and admiration or a wish to achieve nirvana.
Oh yeah, that is, yeah, said you can, or there, such a song of Shagdua, really about Jesus Trondoka, Juba, Tian to check it, Tanjudan, Taba Mississippi, Taba Tom Mississippi, Kasan Dollar Shaba, Combatant to Juba, oh, that humble day, Taju shared the Yeva said you can. Garbage Taba Chatan to be Kasaki, Taba Chating, they be Kasasi. Taba Chating Kasasi, Taba Chating gets us and the Chitan Solam Kogu Amari, Dikasura, Gezala Sigore, Geza, Geveza, Taba Chating. Tesola Tenachi Gezala, Taba Chatung Gezas, then the detail all of my tungri. Taba Chatungi, a Taba Chatungi better than them be Kansaki, that called Chidang, Chedaki Yimi Sambi Guanes, called Chi, Ani Yimi, called Chedaki Yimis, called Chi is Nirasavicanta, Lavringi Magi, Lavringi Gasso, called Chi, Duasa Bigala, Neva Mebata, Momba Mebata. Luyan and do Dovata, Yan Toman do Jovata, Yan Yinzam Jovata, Tromeba, Sergi, Shinjin La Sonek, Dunga Truba, Yon Senator, the Nelly Long, Kovachi, Dunga Samba, say they, Ane Maranzo, Kovachi, Kanji Inayanta, Kovachi, Samia Kanji Inayang, Neva maybe Neva, Sega Daniela, Neva Meba. Meba, Jatan Yen and Yameba. Oh, Ani Koyu Pinzola, Chisam Jajang, Omba Meba.
So we've reached a part in the text here in which the subdivisions of the text are enumerated, and we're going to go through these topics. So it's a proof that the lineage exists in a positive and reverse order, and then the consequence that are entailed, which prove that, which function as proof for that, and then showing how that where some sutras say that there are persons for whom the attainment of liberation is impossible, that kind of explanation is not is an intentional teaching, proving that it's an intentional teaching, and the first of these is being explained that showing how the lineage in a forward and reverse fashion, proving that. The first of these starts off by describing the that a person who has some portion of virtue, which is in accordance with the liberation, a person that has that kind of some portion within them of virtue, which is in accord with the achievement of liberation, they will see the general and the particular negative consequences of samsara. And here the general and particular negative consequences of samsara are enumerated, such as are enumerated in the stages of the path, where you have, for example, 6 general kinds of negative defects or consequences, defects of samsara. The chi duk di So the first of these is lack no certainty. For example, with regard to friends and enemies, they're not fixed. They're not definite as being one or the other. And the second one is that no matter how much one enjoys samsaric pleasure, there's no satisfaction. And that it's certain that one has to repeatedly give up your body over and over again. And then the fault of having to change from a high status to a low status over and over again, that even if you're born occasionally as a human or a deity, divinity, then one will naturally fall into some kind of lower state of existence. And then the fault, defect of always having over and over again having to take rebirth, to transmigrate and take rebirth, become conceived again and again. So then the fault of samsara, in general, fault of samsara is that one has no one accompanies you, in the sense that you have to go alone. When you die, there's no one that will go with you into the next life. No matter how much you've been associated with someone during your lifetime, at the time of death, you necessarily will have to go alone.
Oh yeah, that door
This is explained as being a general negative consequences of samsara, or general sufferings of samsara, because these apply to all sentient beings in general. All sentient beings are covered by these kinds of faults. So then, in terms of the specific faults or defects of suffering of samsara, then you have the specific suffering that are experienced in the hell beings realm, where they're tormented by heat and cold and so forth. And then within the realm of the hungry ghosts, there's suffering due to hunger and thirst. So then, as far as animals are concerned, they suffer by eating each other. They're constantly eating each other, or they're under others' control. They're dominated by others, such that they have to. They're forced to carry burdens and things like that. And then humans and gods also have, or have, birth, aging, sickness, and undergo that inevitably. And then the demigods, they are always engaged in contentious act. They're always involved in struggles and fighting with the gods. And then the gods themselves, or the divine beings of the upper realms, they undergo suffering by dying and transmigrating.
Sudan Sumegi Harkiwataji Inayang, Anitanda di Dungaji Dungata Yoa Marede, Yu Dungata Dungaji Dungata Yoa Marede, Anichawan Dujiki Dunga.
Then,
oh yeah, Sudan Sume, Hai Lu Tojang, Duje Dunga Chela, Mandrova, Matrobe, Munji Dinzin Pampa Sabana, Chia Otunane, Jumago, Sani. And Jango Amazon Chibi, Jiji Chambala Tibika Soanashi, Sudan Sumeki, Hataji, Tawa Inayang, and Dujiki Dunga, Chawa Dujiki Dunga de la Mandrovare,
So then, even the beings born into the higher realms of the form and formless realms, for them, when they're born into those kinds of states at that time, they don't have gross forms of suffering. They don't have the suffering of transformation, which which is found in the the realms of existence below the form and formless realms. But they haven't become freed from the pervasive suffering of being conditioned or being constructed. There's a verse by J. Rinpoche, praise to Manjushri, in which he said,
Duji Dunga Chela Madroba, said Dungaji Dunga Maiba, Chawa Duji, Dungaji Dungatela, Chawa Duji Dunga Madroba. Madroba di Kupumbo Chawa Duji Dunga, Duji Dunga Chela Madroba.
So what the verse says in essence is that those beings, even though they've gone beyond coarse forms of suffering that are experienced in the lower realms, they don't transcend or get beyond the pervasive suffering of being conditioned or constructed by and disturbing emotions, mental afflictions, so they nevertheless still possess aggregates which are appropriated by action and mental afflictions, so they're controlled by that. So then how it works for them is that once they've been born into those states, meditative absorption, and remain in there even for stay there for eons, eventually the power of that meditative absorption that served as the cause for them being reborn there, the force of that disintegrates such that they inevitably to die and transmigrate into some other state of existence, some lower state of existence. And so they fall from that state of meditative absorption, and they fall into some lower state of existence, such as the evil destinies of the lower realms, and so forth.
안에 거지 동아당 체자수수 동아래 마대바 인장 안에 코와라 동 거위 동아라 믿어봐대 아니 예디 안에 코와라 거라 믿어봐 껴와대지 아니 니중제
So then, if someone thinks about these specific and the general and the specific sufferings of samsara, and you consider them carefully, then one will develop a kind of revulsion, disgust towards samsara in general, and will develop, as a result of that disgust, develop renunciation, wish to get out of samsara.
누라 대체 아니 양알랜 대화 세가라 단디 누구 차와도지 그 동아지 풍보된 여러 시위 아니 시와 양대 대라 양알랜 대화라 대위 판연 통화
and then by seeing then the benefits of the bliss of nirvana. Here nirvana is referring to, or cessation is referring to the complete pacification, total pacification of the aggregates which are generated through karma and the mental afflictions and the suffering which is experienced within those aggregates. Then the cessation of that is nirvana, and benefits of the bliss that exists within nirvana.
tender이 아니 파요 통화 강의 받대 코알아 대당 받게데 다 가르쳐 봐라서나 공도 르여 봐 란주라 아니 라신 남바 타바기 르태당 아니 사메 감데 아니 가소리 감데 여발라 때네 아니 감지 니바세네 아니 계셔다 냥달라 전에 저와지 연구하는 마도 르메나 아니 대체적이 유당 게임해 봐인데 주면에 총아 말을 여발라 총아래 생활에.
Then for that kind of recognition or seeing the fall of the suffering of samsara, and also recognizing, seeing the bliss of nirvana. In order to have that occur, this would have to that would occur if the lineage, that is the naturally existing, as well as the developmental lineage, exist within that person's continuum. Without that lineage, the developmental lineage being awakened and activated, and then developing, then there would be a way this kind of wish to a recognition of the defects of samsara and aspiration to recognition of the benefits of nirvana. Those could not occur within a person.
인산 텐데위 리기 니바데 사바 체바기 가진데 아니 가르 가진데라 누스와 임바레 니모마다 총난탕 폰다 현지 완주탕 도나 리기 니미니 넘버 시루 셰와차 언도데 겐가 가서 라 리마세 니모마다세 아란지레 니모마 니모메스만도 니모기 샤와도 상데 니모마와테 마와 직체 니모마다
So then that prevents the awakening of this lineage within a person. What are the conditions which are contrary to that awakening of the lineage? These are explained in a verse in the ornament for the Mahayana Sutras, and the first of it lists these different factors which prevent the awakening of the lineage. lineage. The first of these is having a great many mental afflictions.
안에 가서 너무 많다. 안에 세계지 펑바. 저 최주비 튕긴 그 펑바. 최주비
The second one would be being without, not having the necessary conditions for the practice of Dharma. That would be such as being extremely impoverished, such that you don't have food and drink and so forth.
아니 종년바 리베 조회 왕도 상와. 종년바 조봉년바 조보
조봉년바
내 조보 두자 인세.
The third one is
조봉년바 리베 조보고 왕도 정해. 리베 조회 왕도 상와.
So then the third one is having evil friends, evil companions. This is referring to a person being under the control of, being influenced by, and influenced by or under the control of acquaintances that engage in non-virtuous, sinful kind of behavior.
Oh yeah, you more manda, chongedang, pongdang, segunema pong. You want to do chila, chebala, rala rawan meba. Ani jawala sawa tedaki, ani shawan to jua. Chela pache, ola sawa tedaki shawan to chidi, chebala rawan meba, chibodi, that Yemi said, Risabar chibi, Yemi taymbari.
And then the fourth one then is being not having freedom, not having autonomy. This is referring to being in a situation such as being under the control of a king that prevents the practice of Dharma, or a ruler that prevents the practice of Dharma. That kind of a situation where you don't have the autonomy or to be able to practice. These four then are faults which prevent the awakening of the lineage.
다 리셋비 파일라 안에 단계다 가서래 티바 지중고 때네 태워라 때네 안에 리셋비 간에 리모시네 만송도 도신 유도 타와다 대나 동아 충우충 안에 가서래 대나 동아 충우용 안에 태예비 심제나라양 그와 개바치 세가라 대치와 야부 좀스티와 어디 가르에서나 루모시는 마송도 도신 세가라 아니 마송도 계지기 레네 사데 레사라 레사데 뉴도 안 마송도 개월 좋아지 이나양 아니 랑기 가서를 최주백이 이기 누와 산이 아니 뉴등아선도 개와티야 뉴등아선도 아니 가르로서나 아니 베지 뒤르모 냥아선도 좋아 저왕아선도 좋아
두링보네
뒤르모 뉴도 못 좋아 장니 무슨 지어들 장니 르모시 뒤르모시는 아주 좋아 나선도 제제기 용의지 내지 산이 용을 겨와 내서도 겨울 채워기 겨지기 용어 지려지 산이 태양 나서도 깨야 돼 뉴도 나서도 깨지기 용어 지려지 산이 와 사와 이나양 리진이 바산은 뉴도 나서도 좀 먹어와 뒤루모 신앙 나서도 좋아져요.
So then in terms of the benefits of having this lineage awakened within one, these are also enumerated, and one of these is even if you've created the karma, the action that would cause you to very quickly be reborn into a evil destiny, a lower rebirth, you've already created that karma, and recently within your lifetime or within a recent period of time, and you have that karma within you such that it's going to very quickly cause you to be reborn into a lower state of existence, evil state of existence. Then if you awaken this lineage, if this lineage is awakened within you, that will prevent that result from occurring such that you won't immediately be reborn into a lower state of existence. So then if the lineage has been awakened within you, and even let's say that a heavy negative karma which causes you to be reborn into existence, that actually comes to fruition such that you are reborn into a state of existence by having the lineage awakened within you. That rebirth in the lower realm will be much shorter, of much duration, and the sufferings that you would have to undergo in the lower realm of existence would be of less intensity, less duration, and less intensity. So here again, that such as even if you're reborn into a lower state of existence, there you would only have to endure lesser kinds of suffering. Your sufferings would be of much less intensity and intensity. Rangi o tenda we kansa tiki dunga chumu nyongen tiki na son de jiwi nega daya san ane semjen xian la pen gyumimba cheba. So such a person then that's had the lineage awakened within them, even if they're born into a lower state of existence, then and they're experiencing relatively less intense sufferings compared to the other sentient beings. In that situation, then, a person would be able to help other sentient beings, the other sentient beings in that lower state of existence, by causing their development, that they would be able to evolve and to be ripened in a more positive direction, even in that lower existence.
Oh yeah, do the that riksa se gana ani tibachi bi riksa ba ani kasore tim saba yo yonggo ba ta tijin riksa ba la sai sai de gana ani koi yemi da tabi payen tawa da wa da da timela yonggo koi yemi da tabi payen tawa da ani dongba ni ji da tawa la dane 동바 니지 다 쳐와라 때네 중화 동바 니지 다 쳐와라 때네 아니 류지 다이 바보 류지 바보 당와 류라 류 동바 니지 다 쳐와다 코이 님이다 탑이 파연 아랑 그 쳐와다 아니 또 사무 때문에 아니 그 신이라 아니 랑그 사무 때문에 단지 대다 로발 아니 류라 바보 류지 바보 당와 어때 당와 가르레 산다 타지 쉬어 타바 체중이 계자 여바 시와 차라 타바차준 그 계사 타바차준 계사 유비 또지 아니
So then, as far as the awakening of the lineage is concerned, there's there's two forms of it. One in which we're speaking of the awakening of the lineage, which pertains to the Mahayana, and then the awakening of the lineage to those who are following the lesser vehicle. Here it says that by hearing the benefits of by hearing the by hearing about the negative consequences of samsara and the benefits of liberation, and by hearing the words about emptiness, here referring to like a virtuous friend explaining emptiness, teaching us, and then also thinking about it and contemplating that and so forth. Based upon that, then if someone's the hairs of one's body stand on end, rise up. These kinds of signs are evidence that one has within the roots of virtue, which are in accord with liberation within your own mental content. So this would be the existence of these roots of virtue would be that one within oneself that is awakened.
인자 타바 생각되라 아니 타바 토를 제박이 아니 사병기 차 계사지라 사병기 개회 어디 사병기 차기 타바 차든지 계사 자고하라 마도 아니 타바 차든 내제 아니 통남 공남 밀람 전이 되기 타바 차든 생애데 초남라 타바차디 시에와게 라문가이 나기 타바차디도 말해.
So this here saying that you have this portion within you, this part within you, which is in accord with liberation, the virtue, a root of virtue, which is in accord with liberation. This is referring here not to the high of the path. There are roots of virtue that accord with liberation, which are connected to the upper levels of the path, such as the path of meditation, and so forth. But here, this is what is being mentioned.
남가기나기 타바차든기 남세데라 남공바지고 그래. 근데 타바차든기 계사세데라 남공바 마란도 또 길라 타바차든 계사 요아리.
속람
세도
속람 말에
타바차든 말이
속람 요 말에. So here this is not referring to the path of accumulation, the kind of virtues, roots of virtue, which in accordance or accord with or in the liberation that are developed within the path of accumulation. Those being referred to here. This is referring to the kinds of roots of virtue that we have and such that occur without even to engage in any kind of meditation practice or that kind of meditating on the path.
Somebody meba se tabacha든기 계산기 모르기위 아니 somebody meba 아니 소소타비 동반 남아께 개와선 아니 그 추롱기 소소타비 동반야 개카베 코미 녀와 통네 이중이 파장 줘발에 빼고 그래 코와기 님이 통네 코와래 이중 무슨 맞잖아요 다 파자 좀 줘발에 빼서 치고 그래.
So it's it says that one should really apply oneself towards developing these kind of virtue, revulsion or disgust towards samsaric happiness, and which are admiration and wishing and striving to achieve liberation, even if we're not able to do to the full degree, such that it's automatic or it doesn't require any kind of effort or anything. We should make great effort to do this to whatever extent we're able to do that, because it's said here that if you don't have these kinds of attitudes, disgust towards samsara and admiration for nirvana, then it's very to give to generate within yourself, or have generated within you, arise within you, authentic or genuine vows to individual liberation, and therefore should great effort towards establishing the imprints of renunciation by having seen the defects, the faults of samsara.
아니 냥대기 파연 아니 개외시 달래바 땐 달래바 때바라 때네 아니 가서래 콘데니기 전 렌지점 나양 아니 타바체된 게자리 담바래 타바체된 게자.
So then if you by even if time by having had this pointed out to you, properly pointed out to you by a virtuous friend, if this occurs within you such that you recognize the defects of samsaric existence and you understand the benefit of nirvana, of liberation, then if that occurs even a single time, then you know that you possess yourself the roots of virtue which are in accordance with on the side of liberation.
Oh, that is the Navy Gunzen, and you can cut it so Jabala Sevi and dig down, and dig that is Suji. Did I say which is Junga? Did I say Tabala Rasore? Gave Sini Gita Lebar Tradi, and it reaching Niba Sabala Tana Junga Tadar Maimba. So, you made on Jemeba, she can't talk like Tunanis. That you don't Jemeba, Siba Kowadang, Siba Koyu Janda. You know, you talk, you know.
So then here it says that if you ask what is the reason for being certain by means of the positive the and the reversal progression of establishing the existence of the lineage within us, then the reasoning goes as follows: if that so it's if without having the lineage awakened in you by having a virtuous friend point this out, if this occurred, if such that the arising of even kind of method of getting rid of killing and so forth, these heavy negative actions, if those occurred without cause or kind of then it would, if it was the case that occurred in such a way without causes and conditions, then one would people. It would be the case that one would see the fall of existence and peace without those arising.
Oh, that's just what you know. That's it again. 내가 서를 양알은 따로 미네바 세계와 로세젠 그 양알라 민다비 이르게 남 양 아니 시 규정 그게면 안에 대답이 있어 코와당 안에 시위계 통화 여바 주나 로세젠 대용수 양알 그 로세젠 대답 아니 양알라 민다비 이르게 대답 라양 시바 코와당 안에 시위계 통화 여바 타그레 규다 되바 있다.
Well, if it was the case that this kind of recognition of the defects of samsara and the seeing the benefits of nirvana and engaging in methods such as getting rid of the negative behavior of killing and so forth, if these things were to arise without any kind of causes and conditions, then it would be the case that those who have really a wrong attachment and who possess a lineage which isn't temporarily isn't to go into the direction of complete nirvana. Those persons, even in that situation, where they're those who have animosity towards the Mahayana, are deeply involved in attachment to the world and people of that sort, those persons are able to, by seeing the deep of samsara and nirvana, would be able to give rise to that kind of understanding. That would occur. That would be the case.
타기도 삼나 다텔라 루시와레 니앙 로세젠 니앙 내가 비린라 안에 가서로 일진이바 미세바 마도 거의 깬 통화당 아니 양대지 파에 통주와 일발 레스 그와 내가 깬다 만나양 리세비 깬다 담바
리세비 담바 So, the way this works, even people of that kind of extreme attachment to worldly pleasure and such, they are not such that they don't have the lineage at all. They don't have any possibility of giving rise to revulsion towards samsara and a desire for nirvana. Rather, it's just the case that temporarily, because of the temporarily, they don't have the ability to give rise to these kinds of attitudes and recognitions.
남신은 티저 콜로시단 담바 로세젠디앙 콜로시단 담바지 용그레스 콜로시단 담바 콜로시단에도 제기하고 티저 콜로 티바 초그 콜로시단 담바
택초 콜로신 담바
콜로시단의 데려와 신진 가수와 나 신인체는 투바 주유는 내와 주 담바 담바다 아니 레방모야 소남지 콜로 첨보신이 체랑아 전에 아니 불러변 루루기 야오 대체 삼보라 신인체네 저 투바 주유는 내와 다티마 되는 대 루부지마데 야 지가 루부마 타비를 당보네 내와 내요와 제들아 로스들아 다세비 비된 젠데스나 아니 다젠 기위 바세 라 tumba ju yuna newa ta ju tamba la ne tamba tang se ju tamba jik che. This one.
So then how is it the case then that people temporarily don't have that ability to have temporarily obstructed from having the lineage awakened, how is it that they can become such that the lineage be awakened? Then this is explained. Such persons coming into possession for wheel they come into possession of the four wheels of the supreme. And these are explained in a verse by the Arya Nagarjuna in his friend to one of the great kings of India. And these are also listed here as well, that how the lineage is purified of the adventitious is that the conditions for awakening that which exists within one are that first one to rely upon a noble person and has to dwell within a harmonious region. So the first thing is that you have to rely upon a noble person, a superior, noble kind of person. And then the second one is that you yourself previously accumulate virtuous kinds of behavior, virtuous actions, merit. So here a harmonious is referred to. There's a verse in the ornament for the realizations which says that it has to have satsangwa. So if you wonder then, the description of a region which is refers here in this verse in the ornament for the it's a place in which is conducive to the practice of yoga for somebody who's intelligent. And the first of this place has to be that the ground is clean. And then the next quality of these four dharmas then are self has to have good aspiration, proper aspiration, and exist within focus, live with proper focus. So then these all serve, everything that was listed above serves as for the achievement of and for we by having them complete, by means of having them complete, one is able to activate or awaken the lineage.
단조기 댄상 잠지야 미täm바 다다디 티조 콜로 시대 생각되는 고고아래
Therefore, even in a situation, the Mahayana Dharma is present, and even in a situation where you possess a human existence, with the leisure to practice and all of the necessary requisites for practice, alone not sufficient. Rather, one has to have possession of these four wheels as well.
만년나 안에 사지용 그 말에 슬람지 사지용 그 말에 스탠 천이 상화대 가르래 로 시대 남토리 연대 거래
라
스탠 천이 상화대 로 시대
당부 가르사
두라 천이 상화대 주 남티바 집에 주바 제발라 남 중간기 간텐데 이 상화지 고고래
So this is also
많이 아니 셴바기 남주바 사지용 그 말에
such almost
사지스나 가르쳐 그래 티스나
progress. So this is in the abbreviated stages of the path says that even if you already an excellent basis, you have to all of the characteristics that enable one to practice. Here's the excellent basis is referring to a human rebirth and so forth. But in addition to that, on top of that, it has to have all of the characteristics that enable one to make progress or to on the path, and these characteristics are the four wheels that enable one to engage in the supreme as listed here.
아니 람주 가서 발라 아니 사지 치비 땡 쳐바전 텐데 진얘기 나라 아니 뒤주 마상만 매봐 그래
상황을
마상만 매봐지 상황이 된다라고 그래 좀 매봐 상황이 쳐고 그래
그래 딩에 그래서
그 마상이 비틀어라 람 저기 제가 때 아직 된지 터봐 제발 준비 남라 사지 좀 땡 제발제 된다 대 터봐 제발 그 안에 마상만 매고 그래 라고 그 달람 러빈 뒤든 그 숨어라 이 마상이 비틀
So there, it's in order to achieve this kind of excellent support for the achievement of this supreme path, essential that you develop all of the conditions for having all of the necessary conditions present. These four wheels of Dharma, these wheels, and so you have them without lacking any of them. So the main instruction prevents us from having complete all the prerequisites, these four wheels, which enable to the supreme. The main thing that prevents that is in negative kinds of action. These are such that they obstruct the achievement and the completion of these prerequisites for practice, and therefore it's essential that you be in purification of negative behaviors that we've done in the past for powers by revealing and confessing these and means of the four powers.
Oh, they is that research with ten teach Kolosi Denji, top designer, and it research that is one. I think, and it research by Imbe, say Gana, and it teach Kolosi Denji, ten topichido, Geza Inaya, Moachi. Kundu Koloshitam Midrashi, Najun Chasi and that hour, Renilam Jitaba, Taji Shaw, Seni, and a Benjamin Lama Chibi, Jugut, Moajako, Junzen Directory. To the set of Kundu, and it then Chitangi, Shidenji, then Didam Mandawa Chitang, and then Najun Chasi and the Tawatang, and it Migi Lamji, and it drop a touch. Shaw, someone, Madam Jacko, Jinzen, did to anybody. Today.
So this is expressed in a by Jitsun Chugi Gens. Penchen Losang Chugi Gens. In the Guru Puja. And yeah. And by the power of this, this is a dedication prayer. This in all of my lifetimes, not be separated from the four of the Mahayana. And may I always have renunciation, bodhicitta, and right view. And then may I also always be able to progress through the two stages of the completion process of the tantric path.
Oh yeah, that's what it. Tawe tamja는 아세다 가르에서나 다 티버스뭐 강롱기 쳐라 매와 깨밤 제밤 많이 봐 대세도 아니 가시 판연 통하기 말이 강롱기 쳐 이거 쳐라 매와 좋아 팀 면대 랑자지 쳐라 매와 깨봐 제밤 많이 봐 대세 아니 게 통해 좋아 말이
Then showing the hypothesis or showing a refutation of the unacceptable hypothesis here, that is the obtain if the contrary of this were of what said above was true. Regarding that, it says that if as long as one doesn't give to generate any kind of for any vehicles whatsoever, for that long, during that time or during that duration, you will not give to seeing, you want to a mind or thought which sees the defects of existence and the defects of peace. When we set up above that there are some persons that that don't have the lineage, don't have any awakening of the lineage towards in the direction of. This is explained in the mind-only school presentation, such that they present the interpretation that there are people that are completely off from they have there literally means their lineage is cut off. So but however then this system of interpretation, our own system, we say those people have any opportunity or their lineage of achieving liberation, Buddhahood, and rather that only temporarily we would say their lineage is stopped or cut off. The reason we know that these persons who temporarily have their lineage severed, even have lineage though, in the they have the lineage even temporarily. The evidence for this is, as it's said in sutra, which is called the sutra, which is the ornament of the light of gnosis. In that sutra, it says that in the future, based on meeting with the noble dharma, obtaining the noble dharma, even people that are temporarily engaged attachment to samsara, and those people that are described as having their lineage cut off, then even those beings that sentient beings have within their continuum this heavy kind of position to the Dharma, then their bodies can be struck by light rays of gnosis, which comes from the disk of the sun, Agata, and in those beings then, future then, they can have their lineage awakened such that they will become bodhisattvas, who become they'll possess lineage of the individualized, or they'll possess a lineage of the Shravakas. They'll come to have things that come to have virtue operations, and by the light rays of the gnosis of the the Tathagata, striking their bodies in sequence, so will be beneficial and in the future to have the cause which gives to and generates the liberation.
That you all are on the castle. Rig Chabas Asana and Yogi Munduchi Tadu Tipasum to Digana, Yandamundu to Chidiga. Any castle Yandamundu to Yang and there were Tisana Castle Semji Che Rajiba. 공부하면 매봐. 어떤지 제가라 좀 그때 숨도 주요하래. 타도냐 너 그때 봐. 타도 그때 봐. 안에 되지 그때 봐. 와 이상. 타도 나 안에 되네. 이렇게 잡아. 좋아. 우주는 그래. 알아. 좋아. 어 뒤에 봐. 타도 송바데 딱 좀된 이 뭐든 아래 된다 아니 공부시 공부하게 찬.
So then we mentioned previously that the yoga school, the only school, and some other positions, three final that or some lineage cut off. And it person's definitively shrub vehicle or of the vehicle, and that people determined in one of those. The case then, people, those whose lineage are, of course, but even the arhat who achieve complete nirvana through that, and as well as those who achieve nirvana through that vehicle, when they achieve final complete nirvana, then their lineage would actually be off. Because as we said before, position according to interpretation, in the when one achieves nirvana without remainder, following the Shravana vehicle of the continuity of the aggregates of that person, kind of stop that continuity or that. If that's the case, then that those would be there no way for them to enter into the bodhisattva and towards Buddhahood. But we say the sutras, this is sutras in the Nyangde Dula. Nyangde. Don is Sumbaraba. Don Angel. Then in the Sandhi Nirmocha, which explicates the intention of the Buddha, system here, understand in our system, we would say three definite lineages or lineages of those sutras are not to be taken literally, not to be but rather that they are of only provisional intent, needs to be interpreted into the underlying intention of that statements have to be determined. There.